For 20 years, our house has experienced a lot.
He's back! Are you kidding me?
Triumph, defeat, heartbreak, euphoria. It's been home to legends, and legends in the making. We've watched homegrown kids grow up here and welcome friends who became family.
The ballpark is in a frenzy!
Like our fans, this place has developed a reputation. And that's just the way we like it. In a city bursting at the seams with history, our house has had its fair share.
Howling drive, way out of here!
Grand slam, Victorino! The Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series!
But it's not time to harp on history.
It's time to make more history.
He's gonna just watch it go!
Our team story is not done.
Never say die, Tom.
It's barely been written.
Something's brewing with this team, John.
We're here for the long haul and the long ball.
That one is gonna be long gone!
It's been a fun 2 decades,
Son of a gun, I love this place.
but this is the only looking back we're doing
With a rainmaker!
because we're tired of knocking on the door. It's time to kick it down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sorry in Advance. I am your host, Sean, joined by Scott. Happy Daylight Savings Time, Scott.
Same to you, brother. Same to you.
It's so nice to have the sun like 3 hours longer now.
I know it's awesome. Like it helps. Like I said, it helps that it's like 70 degrees outside.
I know, and it's supposed to be nice like the rest of the week, I think, too.
Yeah, it is. Thank God.
Until, oh my God, I'm lying already. It's supposed to be 55 on Thursday. God, this place sucks. But 69 on Saturday, man. What a great day to build a chicken run, you know?
And then rain on Sunday.
And then rain on Sunday. So it sinks right into the ground.
Yep.
Good evening, Mrs. Pizzo.
What's up, Mom?
All right, we're going to jump right into this because there is a lot that has been happening the last 2 days. And I apologize now that this is this is a Philly-based show, so this is kind of all we're going to talk about. But once other big things start happening, we'll get into the rest of the league and stuff. But the two biggest things that happened was, especially today. Hey, Donna, how are you? So I know I put 8:15. That was just kind of a safety net because I was just like, I had such a hard time putting my kids down the last few nights. So they went down a lot easier tonight. And I'm like, I can actually get on time. So I apologize. Next time I say 8:15, I'm going to put it in there. Like, I should just make it 8 and be like 8:15 pending children. So I apologize. Bill, how you doing, man?
What's up?
Welcome. But good evening, Donna. Thanks for hanging out. Anyway, so I think the one that kind of surprised, well, I definitely know you because the text message I got from you today was, what the hell? And I'm like, what? And then like, dude, even when I typed it in on Google and everything, like nothing came up. Like it was so fresh when you texted me. I guess you saw it on Twitter.
No, I got a Bleacher Report update, and it came out saying that. I don't know. I mean, I just don't like this move at all.
Yeah, it is. So I did see something on Twitter, and I don't know about you. I'm still gonna always call it Twitter. Like it's it's
Absolutely.
The only thing I'll refer to as X is DMX. So, but yeah, the CJ GJ trade was kind of definitely odd because I thought he was going to stay, obviously, and not like he was going to leave. But like there was something I read today that like there was somebody who does something with the team, like works for the team, and just said like I guess he met with CJ Gardner-Johnson like yesterday or the day before, and like they knew this was coming, like everybody knew. And that they were just like, there's underlying things, not like bad, but I guess whatever Howie's plan is, it was just like, this had to happen and it was going to happen no matter what.
Well, he went, he went
I don't care.
on he went on live on Twitch, and he pretty much said the young guys got to get paid here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
but like, it's just not for another year though. I mean, like, he's the leader of your defense.
right. I mean, he's owed 8.5 million next season, 2 million guaranteed, and then 10.5 in 26. So,
Thank Bryce Hall for this nonsense.
dude, that's where I'm just like, you might have had to bite the bullet with that one, but I guess they're not going to, or bite the bullet and keep him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I know they're going to try and trade Dallas Goedert.
So I was reading about that too. I didn't put that on this list, obviously, because it wasn't a move that happened. Everything I keep reading is that like they're keeping him. Now, I know the report that came out a few days ago saying they want to get like a 4th rounder for him.
Well, I believe his cap hit this year is $14 million.
I feel like I can't take anyone's cap hit anyway on this team with our GM.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I will say this: Howie did say that it's be patient.
There's going to be a tough off season to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I just this trade just threw me all through for a loop because, like I said, like you don't trade your leader of your defense, especially after you lose Slay as well.
Right, and they're also losing 2.6 million in cap space.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense to me.
Right. And I mean, granted, like, you getting Green was a 1st rounder in 2022. So he is, and I think he's 23 years old and he's in the year of his rookie deal right now. So I guess him struggling last year, which caused him to be benched, maybe again, like we've said a bunch of different places, whether it's the Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, anything, maybe a change of scenery helps. I mean, if anybody can show how that can work, it's Saquon Barkley. Here. And again, you see what Vic Fangio did in 1 year with this defense, just turned them completely around. So maybe that really is just something that needed to happen.
The thing that scares me though is like CJ GJ was like consistently good. Now you're basically leaning on Reed Blankenship, and I mean like we've only seen him play at a high level 1 year.
Yeah. I mean last year I feel like I saw Blankenship not this past Super Bowl, Super Bowl year, the year before. I feel like I remember hearing Blankenship's name so much more then than I did this year.
Yeah, well, and I mean, that contributes to the fact that look how many good players they had on defense this year.
I mean, yeah, it's like you said, it's going to be very interesting. Because we all know that this isn't the last move either.
No.
People are going to, I don't know if get traded, but I mean, I
scares me.
It is. But again, I mean, like I know I said to you earlier, I was just like, when have we always been like, oh my God, like even the draft, anything, and then how we just pull something out of his ass, and then
I'm just worried that like I don't know, like as long as what I'm scared of is that they're gonna change that offense, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like. I'm not trading AJ Brown.
That's what I was getting at, and I'm scared that could happen. I mean, who would have thought that they were going to trade CJ DJ? I didn't. Nobody.
But I mean, if you were to ask people, who do you think is more likely to get traded, AJ Brown or CJ DJ? I mean,
well, who made the most headlines this year?
AJ Brown.
Exactly.
So, but I don't know, man. It's like I was saying to you earlier, like, it's just like, do we just have to swallow this? Like, I mean, we're not the only team going through this. It's more of a microscope on us because we won the Super Bowl. Our defense absolutely just dominated through every round. And then now our defense is just disappearing off the team. And it's not just like here and there, it's our best players.
We knew we were going to lose Sweat and Milton Williams. I'm hoping that they can try and keep Becton.
I was going to say I unfortunately I think he's gone too.
Yeah,
I would love for them to. I think you need to keep somebody to reassure people that.
Well, the one thing that really shocked me was that Isaiah Rodgers left. Because
I never even heard about until I looked it up.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to leave.
Especially because it's like I don't try and take it personal, but when they signed him, knowing he was going to be out for the year,
that's what I mean.
was like, all right, that's the team like sticking up for you and putting confidence in you. And I'm like, then you come back for a year and then you leave. I'm like, all right, like, and again, like I try not to get attached like that to players, but I'm like, that one I was just like, that sucks. I'm not saying I loved Isaiah Rodgers. He was the heart and soul of the team, but like he wasn't.
No, but I also don't think that the Eagles really thought that he would that they would lose him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now you're looking at Kelly Ringo starting at corner right now.
For now. I mean, it's I don't know. Like I said, this is just going to be very interesting. And excuse me. I mean, but if you look who they still have, we'll start with Bryce Huff, and I'm only saying that for you're hoping for a bounce back season. Obviously, that goes without saying. You still have Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean coming back, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Kelly Ringo, Sidney Brown, and Blankenship. That is a very, very, very good defense.
Yeah, no, it is. Don't get me wrong. But like, who even knows if Bryce Huff's even going to play?
True. I mean, he was healthy for the Super Bowl. They scratched him, so you had to. This was the other. I mean, I know we just talked about all this, but was Josh Sweat going to Jonathan Gannon? 4 years, $76 million. Milton Williams going for 4 at 104. And then Isaiah Rodgers 2 years at $15 million. I think I was trying to think like which one surprised me more.
I think it's the Milton Williams deal because he got a lot of money.
He got a lot of money, and he's 25.
Yeah,
I think. So I'm like, all right, but it was just like, I mean, you knew the Patriots had to start doing something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I didn't see the Cardinals coming out of nowhere. Like, I don't know what they say coming out of nowhere because it's free agency, but like,
just spending that much.
NFL free agency is just so weird because it's like any team is in play. But whereas like baseball, it's like who's going to go after people.
Yeah, I the contracts this year have just been crazy though. Like the prices, and all this. I mean, Josh Sweat's a great player, but I don't think that's going to be a very good signing for them.
Yeah, I don't. We still have Jeremiah Trotter Jr. too, don't we? I don't know why that just
starting.
Yeah, that just hit me. I'm just like, wait a minute, like I forgot we still had him too. I'm trying to see like what kind of like contracts defensive tackles have.
They're very high.
Yeah, and I get that. Jesus Christ, where is it? Defensive. Well, they're not going to be under defensive tackle. They're going to be under defensive. No, they are. So, value. Chris Jones is for Kansas City. He got 5 years at 158.
And he held out to get that.
Well, he was 29 when he signed that. Like,
he's that old?
Yeah, he signed it at 29. So Milton Williams is now 5 years younger than him and got $15 million less.
He could potentially get $200 million contracts.
Yeah. And that's not even including right now what I'm looking at isn't including Milton Williams.
Yeah.
Like, so it's Chris Jones and then Christian Wilkins, excuse me, for Vegas. He got 4 years at 110. And again, at 28 years old when he signed it, like, I think Milton Williams took a deal.
Yeah, he did.
I think he definitely could have got more than that.
But the thing is too, though, he, like I said, he's only 25. by the end of this, if he performs well, he could get another $100 million.
Yeah. I mean, if he's 4 years, what was it? 4 years, 104. If he's 29 years old at the end of it, like you're looking at these contracts, it's going to go up. So, I mean, really 170 if he's playing at the top of his game compared to Chris Jones, who got it at 29, add another 20, 30 million on that.
Exactly.
Like that's insane.
I know.
And I'm trying to see what defensive end, because Josh, like I said, looking at Josh Sweat. So Nick Bosa got 5 years, 170 in 2023 at 25. So Josh Sweat got 476 and he's 27. Oh no, Milton Williams is listed as a defensive end, not a defensive tackle. That's why. I'm whatever. You know what I'm trying to do.
Don't matter, yeah.
They should just put defense on here. But I mean, it's just crazy. But I mean, I personally, I think the defense will be all right. Especially, and I think the biggest thing that's giving me that confidence is Vic Fangio for what I saw him do in 1 year.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be all right too, because like you said, like this isn't the only moves. Like we're not just going to be subtracting everyone. They're going to definitely be adding some pieces.
Right.
It just depends on at what price.
I think the one thing that they need to do is to also stop putting Cooper DeJean for punt returns.
Why?
That's your first move of defense is to stop putting him in punt returns.
Well, the reason I think because the reason that they were doing that is because Covey was out all year.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask you this because I saw it today. Would you bring back Miles Sanders for a backup role and a punt returner?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Is he a free agent?
I think they were cutting him.
Oh yeah, I would take him.
I was reading that a little bit before I left work. Because he's not releasing Miles Sanders. Yep,
he's not going to get a big deal. So yeah,
no, clears $5 million in cap space for them. So
I wonder if he would actually come back though to be a backup.
I mean, you still have like you keeping Gainwell.
I don't think they're going to be able to.
I think that's the thing though. Like Miles Sanders is 27,
but Gainwell is better than him. I mean,
against
better
the Giants.
No, that's Boston Scott.
Oh shit, that's right.
He's a free agent.
Yeah. Oh, Gainwell's only 25 too.
I don't know if Gainwell's gonna be here. I hope he stays. That'd be awesome. But
but I don't know if he's a free agent. Oh yeah, he is a free agent.
Yeah.
I forgot. I mean, he only made $1 million last year, so he should get paid somewhere else.
That's what I mean. But they are gonna have to find a backup.
Yeah. Who was it? I just saw it earlier. Who they were listing as like technically who everyone's who's on the team still, like currently on the team, because they were just like, yeah, it's like Tanner McKee is now listed officially as the second.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Kenny Gainwell is still listed, but he's a free agent. Will Shipley.
Yeah.
Stud. So I would consider going after Sanders. He was going to get $8 million. He definitely ain't worth that. So
no.
He only lasted 2 years with them too.
Well, you knew that was a bad signing from the get-go.
Oh God!
You go to Carolina. They had no weapons.
To die.
Yeah, it just was. It wasn't in the cards. It wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that was. I think we all said it when he left. We were just like,
okay,
that team has nothing to give. Like to have him be a top running back or even like a
top 15.
A top 15, but I'm like even like I'm trying to think of how to word it, like a helpful running back like to your team. Like the Panthers are just dreadful.
It's the same thing that I think is going to happen with the whole Sam Darnold to Seattle thing. That is a terrible signing.
I don't understand that. Yeah,
and then you go out and sign Sam Darnold.
Right. I really thought Sam Darnold was going to stay.
I thought Sam Darnold was going to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, as soon as Fields left?
Yeah, well, they don't have a quarterback.
That was, to me, that made no sense for Fields. unless he was just going to get paid.
I mean, my whole thing is Seattle did what Pittsburgh should have done. Pittsburgh should have tried to sign Sam Darnold, granted, because, I mean, they got 2 wide receivers now that are above average. I mean, DK is probably top 10, top 8. But if I was a Seattle fan, I'm like, why the hell are we signing Sam Darnold to this contract with no receivers?
I don't. I mean, everything I'm here. I mean, I just Googled Sam Darnold Steelers, and everything shows that apparently they went after him.
And he said no? He didn't want to go there?
Yeah, they were going to. Pittsburgh Steelers prepared to make $123 million move for quarterback Sam Darnold. Pittsburgh interested in projected $160 million quarter. Like it's Sports Illustrated, it's Steelers Depot, or
unless Pittsburgh does the dumb move that I think they're going to do and sign Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. Like this, the Steelers are reportedly expected to offer Darnold a deal, despite most expecting him to land with Seattle. So, I mean, and this is 2 days ago. You knew he was going there.
I just think that's going to be the worst signing of the offseason.
Also, real quick, and this is only because I'm seeing it now. It says Chase Daniel claims Steelers made offer to QB Sam Darnold, and that he agreed to 3 years, 100.5. Is there a reason anyone is listening to Chase Daniel anywhere?
Wait, he agreed to it?
That he agreed that I guess that was just saying, that Darnold agreed to the deal with Seattle, but the Steelers did offer him something. But
so the Steelers offered him more money,
I guess, and he didn't want to go there. But I'm like, all right, when did they have DK around this?
Yeah, because DK got traded what was it, a couple hours before Darnold even signed with Seattle?
I guess that's why I'm just like, I wonder if can players be like, yeah, never mind, because I went here and you traded everybody. You traded all the weapons I'd have. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if has it become official yet? Like, he definitely signed, right?
I believe so.
Because I know how some
Darnold,
players, yeah, because I know some players they back out. I know because it's like the tampering window.
It says, as of yesterday, agreed a 3-year, $100 million deal.
I just think it's going to be like I said, I just didn't understand that signing at all. And the other thing is too now, the Eagles didn't even cut Slay yet.
No, but they're.
So I don't.
Let's get to this.
Oh, all right.
So I mean, yeah, I was looking at it, and it's just like everything they're saying is that I'm reading everywhere is just saying like they're going to cut him tomorrow.
Oh no, I have a feeling he might be back now that DJ's not here.
I just like it. That's actually why I brought up the Chase Daniel thing, is kind of because of the Darius Slay thing. Like, I'm perfectly, I don't care. Like, it's the off season. Everybody is going to talk a load of shit. My thing is, I'm like, why is Chase Daniel talking at all and anyone listening to him? I'm like, dude, you were a career backup money stealer. Like, you had to do nothing. And
when did he become a reputable source?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Is I'm like, you're actually on a show. Like, I know we're like nobody, but good God, I know you because you played here for like 10 seconds.
And all he did was talk shit on us.
Right, and then he's sitting there judging Hurts, and I'm just like, dude, can you please not? Like, he played and won a Super Bowl. You were like there
and outplayed the best, almost, I guess, one of the best quarterbacks ever in history, 3 times.
I mean, if there was a better word than dominated.
Yeah, dominated.
I mean, the whole team did, but I'm not taking away from Hurts at all. But I'm just like that ties into the Darius Slay thing with him talking and him not having Hurts in the elites and everything. And I'm like, him being your teammate, like, yeah, that's where I'm like,
that's where I draw the line. That's where I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
That's the biggest problem I would have with it. You want to have an opinion, fine. But that's where I'm like, all right, people are like, players especially are just so outspoken today.
It's because it's because of this. It's what we're doing. And I blame Parsons for it, for the NFL, because he has every player on in the NFL, and he openly talks the most.
And just won't admit that he wants to be an Eagle. I don't understand why. Just admit it. It's not like Jerry's going to trade you anyway.
I just think the Slay thing, like, he could have definitely just kept that to himself.
Yeah. But, I mean, unless it's like MMA fighters where it's just like, you know, they could be the nicest guy in the world, but like once they're in the ring or at a press conference or in the environment, it's a
over.
show.
Like, you're done.
Well, I'm saying it's a show. It's a character. That's all it really is. So, because I follow Dahlia Slay's wife on Twitter. She's great.
Oh yeah,
she's nice as can be. She's a sweetheart. She's, I mean, doing giveaways and shit like that.
Going to tailgates,
and then Darius Slay is just like, yeah, our quarterback ain't great. I'm like, all right, dude, can you take a lesson from your wife, please? Calm down.
Yeah, I just don't understand why and it's not the first time he's going on like his podcast or anything, right, and said questionable stuff like this.
Right. Yeah, I don't. I know it's just kind of old, and I'm like,
you think it would have ended after we would have won after we won the Super Bowl,
right? And after the game that our defense had, after the game that Hurts had, after you just, I mean,
annihilated.
You saved the country.
Yeah, yeah. and then he comes out and he talks all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right. I believe that was it. So here's our next. Moving on to baseball. No more football. Till tomorrow when the Eagles trade Jalen Hurts.
Or AJ Brown.
Or AJ Brown or some shit. Dude, you want to see the fan base really lose it. So moving to baseball is that a lot of talk. I feel like the majority of the talk is, besides that, you know, the starters aren't playing that much, blah, blah, blah. I'm not losing my mind over that. Like people giving Harper a hard time because he's not playing that much. I'm like, if there's anybody I would trust in the lineup who doesn't have to play one spring training game, it would be Bryce Harper.
Does anyone not remember Rhys Hoskins in spring training? What happened?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So I was thinking about like what are like the biggest, I'm not going to say storylines, that's not the word I wanted to use, but the biggest battles going on, and it really is a bench spot. That's all that's happening right now. Because you know it's going to be between these two for backup catcher, and they're both making a very, very, very good case to be here.
Well, it looks like Stubby's out playing him a little bit.
So it's, Stubbs is 5 for 13, 3 runs scored, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. In that, and that's in 7 games. Marshawn has 4 hits and 14 at bats, no runs scored, 1 double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. They're both, I mean, putting up a good fight. It's, from everything that I've read, from comments by Dombrowski, by Topper, just, you know, all the media and everything, is that it's not going to come down to how favorite is Stubbs in the clubhouse. It's going to come into who's having like the hottest bat, I guess, like that, which is ironic because they're barely going to play.
Stubbs.
But then you have to think of who has an option and who doesn't, and I mean, I think it's Garrett doesn't have an option.
I don't think he would have. It doesn't shock me.
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, the other issue is that he's going to be 32 this year. Again, he's a backup catcher. He's in his second year of arbitration, which is crazy to me. I didn't even realize that. I don't know, man. Like, it's excuse me. I'm at a cross because I like Marchand. I like Stubbs as a person. He's not the greatest. And then again, it's just like this whole thing is just like, all right, I'm supposed to base this off spring training where they're facing minor league pitchers the majority of the time. And
I know. We're
never going to see the majors.
Yeah, exactly. I just think, me personally, I think they're going to go with Stubbs. but I would much rather them go with Marshawn.
Yeah. I think the thing that they're really looking at more is the fact that they already said that whoever is catcher is going to play more.
Yes,
He's
and that's why I think Marshawn would be better because he can hit. He's a better hitter.
Yeah. So it's just so you have to think long term now for this season. If you're already saying that's if Realmuto's only going to catch 120 games, 100. I don't see the left field thing really happening that often. And the other thing is Marshawn has dealt with injury issues. So he's played 55 games between us and the minors.
Yeah.
Last season.
It's going to be interesting to see who they choose.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who has. Wait, Marshawn is a notable player out of minor league options, and someone will take him.
Oh,
I think that's
absolutely.
the thing. Someone's going to take him.
You know who would take him? St. Louis.
I was going to say probably the Braves.
Yeah.
Probably the Braves. Yeah, I think that's going to be. I mean, they're hitting wise. Obviously Stubbs has the edge right now, but I mean, damn, they're close. They're both hitting over 300. They're both, they're not power people. But then Marshawn came up out of nowhere and had like 3 or 4 home runs like early when he was with us. So
yeah,
and I think Marshawn's the better defensive one.
I don't know. I see. I feel like people think Stubby is not like very good defensively, but like if you look at his numbers in the league, he's like top 10 in what is it, pop-up throws?
Oh, like time?
Like quickest time. Or top 6 or something at least. I think it was last year.
I know. I'm not saying anything against him. I think it's going to come down to, because I mean, you figure if Marshawn, say they keep him and he gets hurt, they're bringing Stubbs up, and that's on the IL. If Stubbs stays up, then I think they have their answer.
Yeah, then he would just stay.
Right, and it's just, well, then you're going to lose Marshawn either way. But at least they know and they gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And also, I think what's going to come in because Marshawn is, if I remember correctly, a lefty. He's a
lefty.
switch hitter.
Yeah, I was just say.
Whereas Stubbs is a lefty.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a heavy lefty lineup that we have. So I think this is going to be it's one of the interesting.
It's the only storyline.
Well, here's our next one and here's what's funny. I keep looking every single time I look at, and I always forget every time. So the bench battle is the biggest story, and every single time they're just like, Johan Rojas is going to be a bench player, and I'm like, why is Johan Rojas going to be a bench player? Why is he not starting? And I keep forgetting that we signed Max Kepler.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right. We have Max Kepler, and they're giving Marsh. So it's going to be Marsh should be on this list because it's going to be between him and Rojas.
Oh yeah.
Time. But the issue is Johan Rojas hasn't played center field once this spring.
Well, that's the other thing too. I don't know if they're going to be splitting time, especially after what Topper said, saying that he sees superstar potential in Marsh and would like to see him play more.
Oh yeah, I would love to. You need him to hit lefties.
Yeah.
And then of course I want to talk shit on Rojas and be like, I need him to hit period, but he's hitting 292.
He has 2 home runs.
2 home runs and 7 RBIs, and I'm like, cool. But again, like I'm not going to be like, it's minor league pitching, like because it's not all minor league pitching. I'm not,
bashing. Yeah, you're not bashing it or anything, but majority is people that are trying to make the club or not going to make it.
Right. And here's the other one because it is one of the other ones is going to be Garrett Stubbs or Marchand. So there's 2 spots. And one of them is going to be Sosa. So for me, I like Cody Clemens.
I don't see
always
him. I don't see that. I see him definitely making the team.
So you see Clemens making the team?
Yeah, 100%.
Here's the thing with it though, and I think that I hope they don't take this completely into consideration because it seems like whenever Cody Clemens comes up to bat, he's either working a good at bat, works a walk, or comes up with
He
a
does
big
something.
hit. He does something. And you know what? If he's a bench bat the rest of his life, fine. He reminds me of like a Greg Dobbs type where
Yes.
it's just like, dude, he is so good off the bench. You can rely on him. Like, I mean, last year he had 5 home runs. He hit 219, which is fine. 17 runs scored and 18 RBIs.
But it's the fact that it didn't seem like he hit 219.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think what's going to be interesting is Christian Arroyo is really putting up a case right now. But like Cody Clemens is hitting 370 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. And he's 10 for 27.
Yeah.
Christian Arroyo has 2 home runs, 8 hits, 6 RBIs. He's hitting 348. And he can play second base, third base, and shortstop. Same as Clemens can. Clemens can play first. That's the other thing. Not that, I mean, so can Bohm. So, I mean, if anyone's going to first base, it's going to be Bohm first.
So can JT.
So can JT. So can Schwarber, apparently.
Yeah.
He hasn't played for first base for us yet. So, it's funny seeing this because, like, Rojas is going to be on the bench because you need a settled outfielder. Like, so, and he can steal bases. Clemens, I think, can. I don't know about Christian Arroyo. I mean, he has 8 stolen bases in his career, so I don't think he's stealing a lot of bags.
No.
He's 29. I mean, he'll probably be a minor league player. But I mean, he's been around. I mean, he hit 286 for Boston in 2022.
The whole year?
Yeah, 286, 6 home runs, 16 doubles.
How many games he play?
87.
Oh wow, that's actually
half a season. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's a full season COVID year.
I mean, yeah, he had 240 in COVID year.
Oh God,
he played for 2. He got traded during COVID year. He played 1 game for Cleveland.
Nice, and then caught COVID.
They're like, go to Boston, get out. So I think this is going to be a very interesting thing. I think it's going to be all. Like you said, I think it's Cody Clemens. I think the only thing they're going to worry about is having a very lefty-heavy bench. Because Rojas is a righty. Clemens is a lefty. Sosa,
he's a lefty. No, he's a righty. He's a righty. I just think my whole thing is I just think the Phillies are they like familiarity or whatever, however you say it. Like they like who
they know.
Yeah, they don't like to change that much. Like you know what I mean? Like you look at Cody Clemens, he's been here for over a year and he played well. I don't see them just kicking him to the curb. I mean, like somebody like Christian Arroyo comes in, like they don't really know what they have in him.
Right.
You know what you get in Cody Clemens, you know what you got in Rojas, and the same thing with like Marchand and stuff. That's the only one that's going to be the toughest decision because Marchand's been with the club for so long.
Right.
They both been.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too is Cody doesn't have any options either.
No, but Christian.
Oh, no,
does,
he has 1. I'm sorry, he has 1. Cody Clemens has 1, and then. I don't know because Christian Arroyo's been around for
a while.
Yeah, a few years. Christian Arroyo recently is involved playing with multiple teams, prominent, blah blah blah. I don't know. It doesn't even say if he has an option. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's even if he's in the minors and you keep him, it's hello, mother.
Hey, what's up?
even if you keep him in the minors, it's still a good option to have. You have someone who can play multiple positions, who has lots of MLB experience.
Especially if Cody gets hurt.
If Cody gets hurt, I mean, if any of them get hurt, God forbid. If it's a good option to have. It's a good problem to have. You have people. The next thing I wanted to get was Jesus Luzardo. Jesus Luzardo. I loved his interview the other day that he had on 94.
I mean,
I have it right there where he talks about Philly fans, and he's just like, they have so much passion up there. That's something everyone wants to be a part of when you put on a baseball uniform. And then when they brought up about like, how Philly fans will boo you and everything like that, and he experienced it, when he played for the Marlins against us. And he's just like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for them. I'm ready for the fans, and said, if I'm not doing well, I deserve to get booed, so I don't take it to heart. If anything, it motivates me to be better. And I'm like, I don't know if you have a coach, like a speech coach telling you
like
exactly
a PR?
what to say. Yeah. Like your public relations lady is just like, here's the script. It's all good.
It's Bryce Harper.
It probably is. Just kiss their ass, dude. You'll be fine. I'm excited. His first game, he looked like a stud. His last game, his ERA jumped to 13. I mean, it is what it is.
I find funny that that game, all 3 home runs that were in a row, Topper was being interviewed.
Dude, that was so funny. It was so awkward too, because it's just like all left field, and Topper just goes like this.
It's just like looking.
I'm like, yeah, and you have to listen to the announcers, like, who are trying to be so excited about a spring training game. Like, it was just so bad. And it was like, it was like a grand slam, a solo, right?
Yeah, and he was
like
they were literally talking about Luzardo.
Yeah, and he's complimenting him, and he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, that was just great timing. Regardless, I am still very excited about Jesus Luzardo. I think he can be very good here.
As long as he can stay healthy, man. Like, that's the most important.
Yeah. If he can stay healthy, if he can be effective, if he can, I think having JT as a catcher can help you.
Yeah, did he play with JT in Miami?
I don't think. Wow, that's a good question.
Because I don't know how long he's been up.
Well, let's see. JT was with the Marlins until 2018. That was his last year. So,
maybe not, because isn't Luzardo like 24?
Luzardo came up in 2019 with Oakland.
Oh, okay.
He got traded to Miami in 2021.
Okay, so they just missed each other.
Yeah. Well, a few years, because
doesn't shock me that a good pitcher came from Oakland.
Yes. And again, I know some people are like kind of injury history or whatever. In 2023, Jesus Luzardo went 10-10 with 208 strikeouts. The potential was absolutely there.
That was the year that they made the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he also finished. I believe he finished like 4th or 5th in Cy Young voting.
He did not.
Thought he did.
Well, no. The only thing he's ever been close to was Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Who won it that year?
Who won it the year that he had 208 strikeouts?
Yeah.
Let's see. What year did I say? 2023?
Yeah.
In 2023, it was Blake Snell.
Okay. Well, he also should. I mean, 10-10. I know Miami made the playoffs that year, but I mean, if he was on a better team, he probably would have won at least 18 games.
True. I mean, Snell went 14-9 with a 2.25 ERA and had 234 strikeouts. So I get it. I get it. Cy Young. Let's see. It was Snell, and this is the top 8. Was Snell, Logan Webb, Zach Allen, Strider, Justin Steele, Wheeler.
Justin Steele.
Cody Senga, and Corbin Burns. I actually forgot that Cody Senga was with the Mets in 2023.
So did I. I didn't even know he was in the majors.
It's actually kind of a joke that Blake Snell, I think I remember that. It's a joke that he won the Cy Young that year, because Spencer Strider went 20-5, and he had a 3.86 ERA, but he had 281 strikeouts in 186 innings.
So how the hell didn't he win?
Because Blake Snell was going for a contract, and he blew everyone. I don't know. It's just he was. I will never respect Blake Snell ever for the rest of my life. Ever since when he was interviewed about wanting a contract extension from Tampa Bay, and he was like, "I'm fighting for my life out there," and I'm like, "What? Let's relax here, all right?"
That's incredible, though.
If you're putting out fires and you're arresting people while after you're done pitching, then yeah, I get it.
That's incredible that Strider almost had 300 strikeouts.
Right? Something I thought would never happen again.
Then he got shelled against us in the playoffs.
It's what we do, man. You could pad your stats all you want, man. I don't give a shit. The last little topic I wanted to kind of talk about tonight was the I don't know how else to put it, but the really stupid comments that were made by Rob Thompson and Dombrowski on WIP. Like,
is this about Taijuan Walker?
No, this is about them saying that, like, how the Phillies were middle of the pack in batting approach during the playoffs the last 2 years.
They were dead last.
And I'm like, what team were you watching? You can defend your team all you want. Don't lie to me when you had millions of people in this city watching them, and you
watching them collapse.
Right, and you want to tell me that in 2 games they didn't hit and that they were middle of the pack, and then the whole Mets series they really didn't hit.
The whole Mets, like I said before, the whole Mets series, they just looked like they did not want to be there, like at all.
It made me feel like that they expected to get by them. Not that they could, that they were just, they thought they were going to go. And I'm like,
I mean, I just think that whole Mets series, they just whatever approach Kevin Long told them to do, they just throw it out the window.
I was talking to Ryan about that. And just like saying, if you're Kevin Long, I'm like, does he even have an approach? Because he's the one who takes all the heat, not the players.
I said that to you. I really think he does have an approach. I just don't think like the players. Listen. No. Well, I think they half listen. Like they do. I don't know how to explain it. Like they have an approach sometimes, or for like a string of games, and then all of a sudden it's not there anymore. Like it's just they just stop doing it. Whatever works, they just stop.
Right, and I mean, Castellanos is a perfect example from him going year to year, completely different. Because I mean, when he came back after his first really bad year, all of a sudden he was swinging at nothing that was outside of the plate.
No,
I mean, if he did, it was rare. It was like him battling. It was like an 0-2 count. He had to try and cover, blah blah blah. But he was so good that second year here, and then last year he fell back.
He's all right. Yeah, I mean, but he didn't fall back all the way.
No.
I don't know if it's like the thing that's shocking to me too is like Kevin Long has been around these guys even before he was with the Phillies.
Right.
So I don't know if the message, like, I don't know how much more clear his message or approach has to be. All I know is they do have an approach for like a string of games and then they just stop.
And
I'll tell you what, who the worst is with that is Trey Turner.
Yeah.
He is absolutely the worst.
I mean, and when he swings at either the first pitch, there's no point never throwing him a strike ever.
No.
And then you never have to throw him anything. If you have 2 strikes, doesn't matter what the rest
throw it outside.
It doesn't matter.
He'll wave right at it.
What I'm going to read the full quote. What bothered me the most was that when I guess Dombrowski was asked if he was surprised that they didn't make a bigger change to the lineup this year, considering how we were eliminated by the Mets. And his response was, I guess I would say surprised to an extent, because I think that when you're talking about being open-minded, which is how we presented it, and that's how we really felt about it, and when you have good players and you're open-minded to it, it normally makes something happen. Usually something happens in our situation. We were open-minded. We listened to what people had to say, but we were in a position where the moves just didn't make sense to make us a better ball club, because you're not just making moves to make moves, you want to become a better ball club. Or else if you trade somebody, you're in a position to put you in a spot to go pursue this free agent or this trade. And then I'm like right around there is where they made no promise that they told us the whatever in the interview that no promises were made to Trey Turner that he would stay at shortstop for the long term. And I'm like, so you just gave a off answer roundabout way of saying we wanted to make moves but didn't want to make moves because we couldn't make moves, but we could have, but then we had to reflect on what those moves would have had to do. But then you tell me, well, we already told Trey Turner when we signed him that there's no promise you're going to be the shortstop forever, which is specifically why he didn't
signed
sign,
here.
which is why he didn't sign with San Diego or whoever gave him offered him a contract. I'm like,
so then how did they get him to sign?
Unless he just wanted to be here, I don't know. But I'm like, well, where's he going to play? Are you trading Stott?
I mean, and to tie into that comment, I think that's why Bryce said what he said, saying that he would be willing to move to the outfield if they signed a first baseman.
Right. Well,
and I think that was like a message to the front office, like, yo, we got to get this lineup stronger.
Right, but the comment was that he said that during the offseason in case they wanted to go after a first baseman. Well, I hate...
There was one out there.
Right, and I hate the fact, but also I get it, on it not coming out until now. Like, why does it come out after the interview that Dombrowski had saying the moves that they could have made, blah, 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 whatever the hell the dance around bullshit that he said. And then Bryce comes out and he's like, yeah, I told the front office that, if they wanted to go after a first baseman, go after him. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, you came in second in Gold Glove, your first official full year at first base. You had a very good offensive year. You're still at the top of your game pretty much. He's not,
Yeah.
He's better than, I don't know. Do I dare say he's better than Castellanos in right field? I think he is.
I mean, yeah.
He's got a better arm.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen him in the outfield, but yeah. I just think it just goes to show you that the Phillies were not going to make any moves. And I think, but with Bryce saying that, I think he was trying to politely tell them that they do need to make another move.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's the only thing that made me think about it was, and you touched on this already, is Vladimir Guerrero is going to be a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to have to trade this year if you want to go after him? I think, and I said this to Dustin and Derek and all when I joined their show a few weeks ago, and I was like, I think if Toronto is just in the dumps,
unloading, like just
I think that's, and I'm like, I think it's going to happen early where they're going to be like, I want to strike while the iron's hot, start getting whoever we can, because I think they're going to get rid of Bichette too. And I'm just like, who do you really offer them? Because I said I would, and I forget if I said this last week or not. Did we talk about Vlad last week?
No, because it just came out.
So I said, I forget who I said it to. Or I said, it might have been Ryan. Would you trade Bohm and Castellanos? You move Harper back to right. If you already know he's willing to go back to the outfield. Vlad goes to first, and you sacrifice the offense of
for Sosa.
Bohm for Sosa at third for the defense.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, that's basically what you did like in 08 with Pedro Feliz. You have a good defensive third baseman who doesn't have a lot of offensive.
Or 2011 when we had Abraham Nunez.
Was he starting? I forget.
Thought he started because wasn't Polanco like hurt for a while or something?
Yeah, that was like the third time we had Polanco.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying though. Like subs, like
oh, no, it was Polanco. You're right.
Okay, yeah, like 08, like when you had when we had Pedro.
It was Pedro Feliz, yeah.
But Pedro, if you really look at his stats, though, he wasn't really that bad.
No, and I'm not bashing him at all. I'm just using him as an example. Because,
but yeah, I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, in 08, he had 14 home runs. He had 249 in 150 games. That's, am I looking at the right thing? No, I am. 133 games. That's That's 29 less games.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I just think I would do that in a heartbeat.
I don't think Toronto would, but
No. Toronto wouldn't. I just there's a lot of stuff that Topper and Dombrowski, or actually Topper said that I didn't like the other day with the whole Taiwan Walker thing. They asked him like, since he's going to be in the bullpen or whatnot. He goes, "Well,
he's here because of his contract."
Well, no, he was like, "Well, he might not be in the bullpen. He might start." So I'm thinking, like, okay, so who are you taking out of the rotation then? And you're going to put Taiwan Walker as a fourth or fifth starter. So you're going to take Luzardo or Ranger out?
No, but that's what they were reading is that. Well, okay, so this ties into it is that later in the year they already said that when Andrew Painter comes up, he's going to be a starter, and they're going to go to a 6-man. So you're going to a 6-man in July or August, but you know that they're not going to move around Wheeler and Nola, so they're going to go every 5th day, no matter what.
Yeah.
They're going to move everybody else around. Okay, well, unless they're going to give Luzardo and Walker the Spencer Turnbull treatment and nurse them from injuries, or Luzardo at least from injury or something, like to keep. I'm like,
no,
you can't keep babying them. Yeah, no. You need if you want to do a 6-man, fine. Later,
then do it with Painter, but don't do it with Taiwan Walker.
Right, you can't do it. The only other thing that I wanted to tie back into what we were talking about is the fact that Pete Alonso does have an opt-out next year after this year. So, I mean, he's riding everything on this year, and I think he's going to cash out after this year if he has a good year. He'll be.
We got a lot of money coming off the books.
Who? Us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. Let me see if
I really want to look at that stupid guy's face every game on the Phillies.
Well, if he hits 40 home runs.
Yeah, I'd like that. That'd be
cool. So next year, oh god damn, multi-year? Is this how you do it? Yeah. So next year, the Phillies have a total of $100 million coming off the books. So that is not including, obviously we have Castellanos still, but Schwarber's a free agent, Kepler's a free agent. I don't see them. I think they're really hoping that Crawford takes a big step up.
Yeah, I agree.
You have arbitration for the next 2 years for Marsh. Yohan Rojas is going into pre-arbitration next year.
Jesus.
And you have arbitration year number 3 for Bohm. Stott's arbitration number 2. Sosa, a lot of arbitration people. So the only money you really have on the books next year is Wheeler, Nola. Ranger's a free agent. You know he's going to get paid. Like they're going to get over that. They're going to close up that $100 million real quick.
Like you could, I mean, they could do it.
Oh yeah, I'm saying just with those contracts. Like, I mean, what do you like? Kyle Schwarber's making $20 million. He will make more than $20 million next year.
Yeah,
I think he'll get another. He'll be 32. He is 32. He'll be 33.
I think he'll get like a 2-year deal with the third year being an opt-out.
Yeah. Yeah, I could, because I mean, damn, dude, like he really didn't make a lot of money when you look at it.
I know.
Like he made $10 million for the 1 year he was with the Nationals and got traded to the Red Sox.
Well, it also, I think that factors in because of when he got hurt. Like teams they didn't want to really risk it.
Well, I mean, even after that, like he was on arbitration when he got hurt.
He had a weird career, dude.
Oh yeah, he wasn't a catcher anymore, so they pulled the Rhys Hoskins and put him out here and put him in left field. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, definitely.
But he had an $11 million option for 2022 when he was with the Nationals, declined it, and then signed here for $79 million. So I could see him signing for, like you said, 2 years, a third option, but at least 25 a year.
Oh yeah.
Average.
Yeah, I agree.
So, was there anything else you wanted to complain about tonight? Because I'm done complaining.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Mrs. Pizzo, Donna, Bill, and Mother, thank you for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
and
it.
We will be back next Tuesday. Hopefully something's happening. I mean, baseball technically starts next Tuesday
Yeah, in Tokyo.
in Tokyo. And
4
then they go back to spring training, which is absolutely
makes no
stupid.
sense.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we'll actually have a game to talk about.
Yes.
What time is it? 7 p.m. What? Oh, Japan time. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not right. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. Until the Eagles just trade everybody. So that's where it gets so busy when you guys are on. It gets sorry, it's all good.
It's all
Appreciate
good.
you hanging out, Donna. All right, later.
Later.